The moon was full and shining bright, and there I was in the heat of the night. I found this place I'd like to go, even though it's far from home. It all made sense as I watched the crowd, the things I heard. This place was wild. The lights were low, people everywhere, sounds of love screaming through the air. It was there I fell in love. It was there I found my passion flowing, and far from my mind was the world I left behind. I used to think how it would be to find someone who needed me, and it was there my dream came true, 'cause it was there that I met you. So many days had come and gone, I almost thought I'd write a song, and then I found this crazy place where I met you to end the race. It was there I fell in love. It was there I found my passion flowing, and far from my mind was the world I left behind.
Hello and welcome back to Memories of a Musician. I'm your host, Vito DeSalva. Once again, we have a great program for you this evening featuring a young lady named Mary Ferro. Now, Mary is as you're going to hear a lot about her as we move on, but she's a music educator, a performer, a fine pianist. She was also heavily involved in an Italian folk group called E Campagnoli, which was probably the top Italian folk group, not only just in the United States, but in the entire world. And Mary, prior to her being the director of this group, her mother, Jane Ferro, was the director. Now, I knew Jane quite well, even before I knew Mary. Mary's a few years younger than I am, and I knew Jane because every year, my group, we three, would perform at this huge amusement park in Western Pennsylvania, and specifically in West Mifflin, called Kennywood Park. And the third Tuesday in July was always Italian Day. So my group would perform a 1-hour show. Then there would be maybe, some speeches with some local politicians, etc. And then the E Campagnoli, this Italian folk group, would take the stage, and they would do a show for an hour. And so during that time, and I did this for, I'm going to say, at least 15 years, if not more, that my group played for the Italian Day at Kennywood Park. Jane Ferro and I, had the opportunity to talk and to become friends through our professional connection. At some point, after Jane, then Mary took over the group and became the musical director. So I want to show you first, a picture. This is the E Campagnoli. You could see them in their full regalia. They're in the, this is in the Piazza di Michelangelo. And this is about 1987, and you'll see in the background the city of Florence, Italy. You see the Duomo back there. It's the biggest structure that you see in the back. And so this is in Florence. And I have a little a video that I want to play just to give you a sense of this group. Mary has done many things, but to me, this is just amazing, to be part of so integral part of this group. So I want to play a little excerpt of one of their shows so that you can see this. This is called Pizzicato tarantella. So it's a tarantella. Let's go. And there you go. Pizzicato Tarantella with E. Campagnoli. And you hear all the live musicians, they always had accordion, bass, guitar sometimes, and mandolin, of course. And of course some hand drums and different things. It was a great, very interesting, great organization. So let me give you a little background about Mary Ferro before I bring her onto the program. Mary Ferro was born and raised in Carnegie, Pennsylvania, a graduate of Carleton High School and Duquesne University School of Music. She began her piano studies at age 7. She has studied with Jane Ferro, her mother, Patricia Janes, formerly from Carnegie Mellon University and Chatham College, and Beverly Nero from Duquesne University. Ms. Ferro has also studied under the internationally known vocal coach, Professor Lorenzo Malfatti. Two of his famous pupils included Luciano Pavarotti and Andrea Bocelli. Her genuine love for the piano became quite evident when, at age 12, she began performing as keyboardist with her guitarist twin brother, Vince. Mary has served as a professional pianist in various capacities, from accompanist to keyboardist in high school musicals, keyboardist in classic rock bands, and as a church musician. Ms. Ferro had also been the musical director of the international performing folk group E. Campagnoli. This troupe had successfully performed extensively throughout the United States and Europe. Mary is a former music educator from the Carleton School District, where she was a choral director and general music instructor. Outside of the music world, Ms. Ferro had been a broadcaster for WDUQ 90.5 FM radio for 2 years as the host of the radio show Rock Before Your Ears. Her love of music, and the piano in particular, does not exclude a sense of humor, as you will see. As a comedian, Mary Ferro has appeared on the Holly Mandel Talk Show, America's Funniest People, WR Radio, New York City, RooTube, London, England, Y97 with Jimmy and Steve, etc. She is author of the newly published book, From Calabria to Carnegie. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring to the program Mary Ferro, and there she is. Hi, Mary. How are you?
How are you? I'm very well. Thank you so much for doing this. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's great to have you on the show. And, I tell people all the time, it's the nicest part about this is reconnecting with people that I haven't seen or talked with in a long time. And you're one for sure.
Absolutely. We haven't aged at all, right?
I know. We look the same.
We haven't. It's a great thing.
Yeah, it's really it's nice to see you, and you have quite the resume with everything. And I did see in there that in your bio that you started piano. Was that your first instrument?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so tell us about that, and what got you inspired to start on a musical instrument? You know what I'm saying, and it was piano. I know.
Absolutely. Well, of course, my mom. And I'll tell the story about how she started playing the piano. She began studying when she was about 6 years old, the piano,
Okay.
and she absolutely loved it. She was one of the first women to play piano with the orchestra. They had an orchestra at that time. And then when I was 6 or 7 years old, Mom started giving piano lessons in our home because she greatly valued those piano lessons, and she wanted to give back. And she taught anybody and everybody who wanted to learn, blind people, she taught to play the piano. She also taught, physically challenged people how to play the piano. She didn't care how old you were or how, young you were. So I was very influenced by the beginning. There was always piano music going on in our house, as well as Italian music, of course.
Mhm.
And that was my initial introduction to the world of music. I never knew a world without music.
I see.
And then when my twin Vince and I went to school, we had very little music as far as the curriculum was concerned. All we had was a music teacher that pushed around a record player, played a couple songs. But the saving grace with that is we had another music teacher, Aldo Diani, Sr.
I knew Aldo very well.
Who taught us how to play those god-awful flutophones.
Yeah.
God bless them, because Vince and I would go home and try to practice duets with them and all that stuff. We weren't having any hot cross buns, so we came home and practiced, and he was very wonderful. And then we decided to bring our instruments to school. Vince played the guitar. It's not that he didn't like the piano, but he loved the guitar more. And we tried to play, and we played in talent shows at the school. When we were 11 years old, we sang our first solo together at school.
Okay.
Dream by the Everly Brothers. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
But there was always music, and my mom was my first influential person as far as that concerned, without a doubt.
I'd like to show a picture of your first piano. There it is. Tell us about this picture.
Yeah, well, this was Christmas, obviously, and Mom went to the swap shop. Well, no, Santa Claus did, but went to the swap shop and bought secondhand instruments because we couldn't afford anything else. So this was my very first piano, and my mom made my dress. And she also gave me a perm, as if my hair wasn't thick enough. I look like Harpo Marx. But this was my very first piano, and she bought that and a set of cheap drums, and we were fine with it until I sat in the drum and broke it. But this is my very first piano in our little apartment in Carnegie.
Wow. And that's your twin brother next to you.
That's Vince. Yeah. That
And
was
then it's your father there?
my father, Leonardo.
Leonardo. And he was born in Italy, right?
Yes, he was. As a matter of fact, he was 20 when he came to the United States.
Okay.
And he had studied to be a teacher in Italy, and he managed to go to the University of Locri through World War II.
Wow.
A professor took a liking to him and said he could stay at the university. So he was right on the verge of all he ever wanted to do was become a teacher.
I see.
And then as soon as he became a teacher, his father called him to come here. And at age 20, they put him back in the 6th grade all over again.
I see.
Because nothing counted for anything. And so that was it. He went to the same school that Vince and I went to elementary school, Harding Elementary in Carnegie.
Tell me about this picture here. I think this is your grandmother and maybe your mother's mother there, huh?
That is Victoria Ianotta. This was a picture taken for the book that highlighted families of Western Pennsylvania, the special Italians that influenced the area. And we were very blessed to be chosen as one of the families that was featured. It's called Boundless Lives. And it was put out by the Heinz History Center.
Okay, nice. That's really cool. Yeah.
That's
was your grandmother musical too?
She loved music. Let's put it that way.
That's important.
The really good thing about her is once you got her started, she would start out with this little tiny voice, and she was a very boisterous woman. I think I get that from her. She was very boisterous, but when she sang very lightly at first. But then if others would join in, then you heard her. Well, actually, Vito, my mom was the only one out of 4 children that had any musical talent.
Wow.
Her older sister, God bless her, she tried to sing, and she tried to sing My Way one time, and I thought, oh God, please don't do it your way. But my mom, in her wisdom, decided the perfect time to practice piano was when her older sisters were doing the dishes. No, I think I'll sit down and play the piano. They go, oh, that's great, because this way we can hear music while we're working.
There you go. Yeah, that's neat. So let's talk about Mary Ferro, the music educator. I have this picture right here of you conducting that's a very large young chorus there.
Extremely.
Tell us about that.
Well, I was at the high school teaching chorus for a while. And then my twin brother, Vince, was the music teacher at Carnegie Elementary.
Okay.
And he started this choir. There were only 10 students in the choir.
Wow.
And he decided to build upon that. And the great thing about him was he set the bar so high. He said, you can't set it low, or else if you set it high, they'll reach it. Even with auditions, this is how large this choir was. And I can't take credit for starting it. And then he had them sing difficult music because, again, it's easy to have students sing easy stuff. But if you reach the bar, and they did a repertoire of second to none. Second to none. So then when Vince got sick, my twin, he had cancer. When he got sick, then they put me at the elementary school, and I thought the best I can do is carry on what he started. And we did until I retired. There was that huge choir until I retired.
That's great. That's wonderful.
It was wonderful.
I have this picture of you singing a solo. It's not real clear, but you could see.
No, because it's old.
And you had long hair there.
I did. And you know what? It even grew longer than that. It grew down past my waist.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, I was elected president of our choir at Carlinton. I went to Carlinton. I worked at Carlinton, and I was elected president of the choir. And our choir director gave people solos, during the choral concert. And I think I was singing the song "To Sir with Love" because that movie was pretty popular at that time. Look at the emotion. And then I was also accompanist for the choir. That's when I first started accompanying. I was about 14 years old. And a really bad mishap was the first time I was accompanying the choir, and another student was turning my pages. First flip of the page, they were all over the floor. I'm like, now what? What a way to do it.
Yeah, for sure. And then I have one other picture. This is much later. This is that solo shot was like 1973. This was 1986. And you were you have to tell us about what you were instructing here. Tell us what this was about.
Okay, every year all the Italian folk groups would get together in a certain city, rather be Philadelphia, New York, what have you, and have workshops. And Mom was the gold standard of everything Italian. So we would give workshops. Everyone would bring something different. So my mom thought that I should run this workshop here, just teaching. It could have been vocal songs, folk songs, and then Blaise Panizzi would teach dancing.
Okay.
He was our choreographer when of Campagnoli, or instrument playing, different instrument playing, and that's what I was doing there. I was just giving them instruction as far as some type of Italian folk music was concerned.
I see.
And they come from all over the country. And
is that right? Wow, that's cool.
So a lot of us were appointed to do workshops, and that was one of them. I enjoyed it. I really did. I enjoyed it to not only to give what we had, but to share what maybe we didn't know, something that the others had. And it was a great sharing of information.
How many years did you teach at the Carlinton School District? Just curious.
Okay, well, I substituted for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Because I kind of found it. I liked it. I liked it.
One of the few.
Different places at the same time, because my children were small, and I wanted to be flexible to be with them. And then I taught full time about 17 years.
Oh, okay.
17 years now.
Very good. So then you were also part of different rock bands. I say rock and roll, rock bands, And let's talk about 1968 and the first band called Revolution. And you guys were on. Joe Negri had a TV show called The Talent Scene.
Right.
And you were on there, and it was you. And I have you tell us, I have this photo right here.
There's the long hair again. Well, prior to this photo, Vince and I, because Joe Negri was the first guitarist with the Campagnoli.
Oh, Joe Negri, sure.
Right.
Okay.
Prior to this appearance on Joe Negri's Talent Scene, Vince and I had already been on there.
I see.
We were about 11, and we sang a duet with Yesterday, the Beatles song Yesterday.
Okay. Nice.
And then eventually, I believe it was the following year, he asked us to be on again, this time with our rock group, Revolution.
Okay.
So it's myself with the long hair, and then my twin Vince, who's sitting with the guitar, Silvana Rossini, who is sitting next to Vince, and Mike Swartz. Like I said, 3 Italians and a Jewish kid.
Oh, it's a difference. It's good.
Yeah, it was great. It worked.
What was Mike? Was he the bass player?
Yeah, Mike's the bass player. He's the one standing up with the long hair.
I see. Okay.
That was the style.
Yeah, I have a little video I want to play of this group, and this goes back a long way. But
yeah.
It's really an audio track, but they're just. Late 60s. That's great. Well, I remember the style is so 60s, you know.
It was.
It really is, you know. Parts of that. Remember the song "Wipe Out"?
Oh yeah. Oh, that was one of our biggest hits.
Oh yeah. And when those drums start, that's where we wipe out, you know.
Silvano, we got Silvano, take it away.
Yeah. So then there was a band that you were part of, in a small way, but it was your brother's band, Vince's band, and it was from 1980 called the Night Owl Band.
Right.
And featuring Vince as the lead guitarist and vocalist, huh?
Right. I never went with the band, but when they had recordings, I would sing backup.
Okay.
Because with Revolution, I mean, God, we started that band when we were 12 years old. And Vince was coming into his realm where he was starting to write music. I remember one of the first songs he had ever written was called She or Me. And then about a month later, 2 months later, I heard the same song on the radio, Valerie by the Monkees. It was exactly the same. I'm thinking, how did they get Vince's song? Because it hadn't come out before he wrote it. And then he had that talent. I never did. I wrote one song in my life, but he had that talent. And since we were twins, we were always together. Pretty much when we were younger. And then we branched out into our own separate entities. But he was something else. And I remember just like practicing. We said, we asked our Ma, we got to get a band together. Is that okay? She said, well, yeah, I'll keep you off the streets.
I have this picture of, this is the Night Owl Band.
The Night Owl Band, yes.
And that's Vince right in the middle, huh?
Right in the middle, yeah.
Wow.
They were great.
Crew there, motley crew there.
Oh yeah, that was Well, they were terrific. They had a horn section. They didn't make much money because there were so many of them. But
right, that's right. The bigger the band, the less.
Great, great band.
And I have a little video. Let me show this and let the audience hear this song. This is a song that Vince wrote as well. There you go. That's pretty cool.
I think he sounds a lot like he sounded a lot like Michael McDonald, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks for playing that, Vito.
Sure. Yeah, and Vince was young when he passed away. How old was Vince? Your twin brother.
He just turned 58, and he was gone 9 days later. He had cancer.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a shame. So sorry about that.
It definitely was a shame. But, I was blessed to have had him even for such a short amount of time. Yeah. I mean, our relationship was so wonderful. We just never fought. He was the quieter one, and I never shut up, as you can see. So.
I have 2 sets of twins and my grandchildren. And the older ones are seniors in high school. They're 18, Nico and Mia. And they go at it a little bit. They fight a little bit, but I think they're gonna when they get just a little bit older, they'll be really best of friends, you know.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then I have a set of twin boys with my son who are 6 years old, and of course, boys are boys. Two boys, they're just like at each other's throat all the time.
My,
Oh,
that's great. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. You know, there's nothing like a twinship, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you know.
I think you know Lana, my wife, is a twin as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
it's my great grandmother was a twin. My grandma Victoria, her mother was a twin.
Okay.
And my mom never knew she was going to have twins till we were born.
Right. Same with Lana's mother. Yeah.
Yep, it was it.
Grandmother was a twin.
Like Mr. Ferro, you have a beautiful baby boy, and he goes, "What and? We just came for one."
Yeah. The story with Lana, she said that the doctor came out into the waiting room and said, "Mr. Benedetti, I need another name." He said, "What are you talking about?" So, well, there's another baby up there. I guess that happens, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm so grateful that I had him. Like I said, even for a short amount of time.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good way to look at it.
Such a great
Sure is.
brother.
And so I have a photo of you singing at a restaurant in New York City called Asti's with a guy named Luigi, and this is around 1981. Tell us about this. Tell us about this experience.
Well, a group of us had gone up to New York City just for the weekend, just to, catch the shows there. And we managed to find ourselves in this restaurant called Asti's.
Okay.
It was in the village, Greenwich Village. And I was just sitting there minding my own business. And they have all these people that are trying to break into the business, I guess. And they're all singing all over the place. And somebody said, we need to get Mary up there because she sings. And I said, oh, come on. These people are doing this for a living. And then she goes, no, get up and sing. And I got up and sang and with Luigi. and the owner offered me a job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he says,
Nice.
Can you work for me? And I said, oh, I don't think so. I'm not from here. Well, you look like one, yeah. So I said, well, nah. So he offered me a job, and I could have been doing that, but I didn't.
Well, the reality is, for what you would earn singing
Right.
at a restaurant, you probably couldn't get a one-bedroom or a studio apartment.
You could not. You could not. And I don't think my dad would have been too happy with myself living in New York City by myself. It's bad enough myself living in Pittsburgh by myself.
That's funny. So I have another picture of you singing. This is on a Carnival cruise line. Tell us about that.
Okay, so I had gone on a cruise with my two cousins, Vicky and Valentina, and I went up to the upper deck. And I noticed that a lot of these fellas that were on the crew were Italian. So my cousins came up to the upper deck and they go, you won't believe what our cousin Mary's doing. And they said, what? She's up there conducting this whole Italian crew with singing Italian folk music. She separated them in half. This side sings this part, this side sings that part. And they were singing Quel mazzolini di fiori, and the other ones would Che vien dalla montagna. So after that, they put me in the show.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was saying, no wonder I wasn't making any money. I was just volunteering stuff. And they went crazy. Those guys, after I sang, I figured I'd sing them a nice Italian folk song. They went nuts. They loved it.
Yeah.
Probably the first thing that they ever heard in a long time.
Yeah. That's a great picture too, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
The history we all have, huh?
Yeah.
So how about this? I saw this picture and I had no idea who this guy was until you told me. And of course, now that I get the name, then I can see that, yeah, that was him at a much younger age. This here picture right there.
Yeah, Howie Mandel.
Yeah, Howie Mandel, huh? Who would have thought he had here?
He did, and he was very cordial as well. Like you, as you well know, he's a germaphobe.
Yeah.
But he kissed both of us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he did.
He's really young there, too.
Very young, and so were we.
Yeah. And who's the other gal? Is that your friend with you?
Yes, this is my friend Marilyn Mance.
Okay.
And do you want me to tell you how we got on the show?
I'd like to know the whole story, how this all
Here's the whole story. All right, well, I came home from teaching one day, and I was looking through the paper. At that time, we had newspapers, and there was an advert in the paper that said, if you have a funny quirk, come down to Station Square because they're auditioning for America's Funniest People.
Okay.
Well, my friend Marilyn has a defective windpipe, let's say. And when she laughs, she honks. And it sounds like this. That's the way she laughs. She can't help it.
Okay.
And I called her and I said, you have to go down because they're looking for people with funny quirks.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, well, you're coming with me because you make me laugh. I said, all right. So we got down to Station Square, and there's people with agents. She goes, what are we going to do, Mary? I said, I'll talk, you honk, we'll go home. All right, so that's exactly what we did. The cameraman was trying to stay still, and he couldn't quit shaking. He was laughing so hard. So we came home 3 days later. I came home from school again. She says, are you ready to go to LA? I said, what do you mean go to LA? She goes, are you ready? They called us from America's Funniest People. They want us to fly out to LA in 3 hours. We have the airport packed and ready to go. And that's how that started. Then we got a call from Maury Povich producers. At that time, he had a variety show.
Okay.
They said, this is Jonathan, the producer from Maury Povich Show. You willing to come out? Yeah, here we go again. So now we're headed to New York. So we did Maury Povich 3 times. And then after we did a couple radio shows. And then when my mom was very ill, I mean, she had cancer terribly. I came home from the hospital and I had a voicemail that said, hello, this is Glenda from the Howie Mandel Show. Howie loves you girls. He wants you to be on his talk show.
Wow.
I had to play it again because I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
So then I told my mom, I said, Mom, they want us to fly out to LA and be on the Howie Mandel Show. I said, I don't want to leave you like this. And she said, Mary Ferro, you look at me. You promised me you will go. And we did. And we did. We did his talk show. And he's hilarious. I mean, if one-on-one, he's terrific. So we had a really good time there. Then it was back to reality, you know.
That's really cool. I like that. Mm-hmm. I like him. I used to watch that. What was the show? The more recent show that he did about becoming a millionaire or something. I don't know.
Deal or No Deal.
Deal or No Deal.
Yeah, Deal or No Deal. He's sick.
I was hooked on that show for a while.
Deal or No Deal.
Now, sometimes he's a judge. He's been a judge also on America's Got Talent. He's been seen there, you know. He's a very active young fella. Well, he's not young anymore, but he's, he's still very active. He
has a lot of energy.
He does, yeah.
He never stays still.
And I think he's originally from Canada, right?
Yeah, he is. He is originally from Canada.
That's great. So I want to talk to you about you in 2023. You wrote a book called From Calabria to Carnegie. Mm-hmm. And I have the cover of the book right here. Tell us about this. A Music for Bread. That's a very interesting subtitle there. So tell us about this.
Well, after I retired from teaching music, and my parents had passed very young. My mom was 60, my dad was 66, and then of course my twin brother was 58. And I thought, you know what? There is so much that people need to know about our history, our journey, our adventures, our triumphs, our sorrows. And so I began, and mind you, I'm not an author. So I began writing 1 page a day, 1 page a day, 1 page a day of things that had happened in our family that hopefully can relate to a lot of other nationalities, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So I intended to have it a historical value for my children and put it, Adrian, Michael, and Gabrielle, and put it in my chest of drawers. I was just going to leave it there. And a friend of mine called me and she said, Mary, you're going to have to call this publishing company. They're called Word Association Publishing Company. I said, but Sharon, I'm not an author. She said, yes, you are. I said, no, I'm not. She goes, just call them. I said, okay. So I called these people up and I said, excuse me, but I'm not an author and I do not know what I'm doing, but I have just written a manuscript. Would you like to read it and give me your perception? And so they said, yeah, sure. We'll send us your manuscript and we'll let you know either way. But we have to tell you, we only publish like 25% of the stuff that comes in here. I said, that's fine. I just want to know. So 2 weeks later, they called on the phone and they said, we not only like this book, we love this book.
Wow.
And I said, you don't, because I'm not an author.
Wait a minute, which tells you one thing. Everyone is an author.
Yes.
Everyone can tell a story.
Everyone has a story.
And if you note, most books have editors. And that's where the editor comes in and fixes the little grammatical things.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's fine. But everyone can tell a story. So you are an author.
Wow, geez, thanks, Vito. I hope you will get the book and enjoy it.
I will get a copy, and I'm going to somehow, when I get to Pittsburgh, have you sign it for me.
Thank you so much. I would love it. Now, may I tell you what the Music for Bread part is about?
Sure.
Okay. When my mama was real little, she went to a Catholic school called St. Philip's. And the nuns, my grandmother was illiterate. So any communication had to be verbally, orally. So when the nun came to my grandmother and said, you know what, Victoria, your daughter has so much talent. She needs to have piano lessons.
Okay.
And my grandmother said, what the heck are you talking about? I not can afford a piano lessons. So I'll tell you what, Victoria, if you make me homemade Italian bread, I will give your daughter piano lessons.
Yeah.
And that's how that started. And Mom was so grateful for those piano lessons. She gave back the rest of her life.
Music for bread. That's where it came from, huh?
Yeah.
That's great. What a story. Yeah.
It's really my inspiration. I couldn't have done it without her, honestly.
Yeah. That's neat. That's really nice. And when did the book actually come out in 2023 or 24?
Let me see. I think it was 2023.
Okay.
I think it was 2023.
Is it available on Amazon?
Yes, it's on Amazon, and I have copies at my home as well.
Okay. So
like people, if I know them around the area, and they'll
say,
say,
go to Amazon, just say from Calabria to Carnegie.
By Mary Ferro. Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. Good to know.
And like I said, Vito, it can apply to other ethnicities as well. I mean, the story of the immigrants coming over back in the day, and
well, it's wonderful, and just like you're telling your story now about your musical journey, it's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's nice that you can share it.
We didn't have much, but we didn't know we had much.
Yeah. So tell us about this photo here, right here.
There they are. Okay. Mike Schwartz is one in blue. He moved to Colorado. He was the bass player in Revolution with us. And then myself.
In 1968, right?
And so, right. And Silvana Rossini on the right, the drummer. Okay. All right. We got together after 55 years, I believe.
Wow.
And then Silvana was talking, and I said, this is great. The only one missing was Vince, of course.
Yeah.
And I said, this is so great. And we talked about old times, how we had to practice, take turns practicing at all of our homes, because our vibration was so bad one time. We knocked my dad off the couch. We used to practice in the basement. He was a little guy, but that was loud. So Lano just asked me, he says, Mary, do you want to start a classic rock band again? Do you want to play keyboards and sing? I said, yeah, sure. Why not? So we start rehearsal next week.
Is that right? Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool.
I mean, we're going to be a lot slower, but who cares? I don't
Play
care.
more ballads.
Throw them in there.
That's right. Oh, that's cool. I like that. And so now we get to the part we're going to talk about. To me, it's very, very interesting because I knew this group for so long, but there's a lot of things I didn't know about it. And the E Campagnoli, I did not know. First of all, I did know that it was sponsored by the ISDA, which is the Italian Sons and Daughters of America. And their main office, even though it was a national organization, their main office was on Wood Street in Pittsburgh. You know, and all of my relatives, I'm talking my aunts, my grandmother, my mother, everybody belonged to, I think they belonged to the Everglade Lodge, Everglade 116. It was out of they had met at the South Hills Italian Club is where they met. And when I was like 7 years old, my grandmother said, you come up and bring your accordion and play for these ladies. And there was all ladies. There were no men in
Of course there was.
There were no men in this chat. All the men were in the bar of the South Hills Italian Club, and the women were at the meeting, you know. And I'd bring my accordion up, and every year I'd play for them at Christmas time. Oh, yeah, I remember that. And so that was the ISDA. And they sponsored the E Campagnoli to get started and whatever, and then I thought for many years that your mother was the first director, but she wasn't.
No.
Tell us about it.
Well, we joined the group. Well, I was real little, but how it started was my mom had a friend named Dolly Caporelli. Was Dolly still alive? And they asked us to come over to their home one night. And she had this little chord organ. And she goes, Jane, you're going to have to be a member of this group. It's called E Campagnoli. And the original directors were Lorenzo Malfatti.
Okay.
And Eugene Richards. Ricotti was his real name. He was a choreographer. They were the original members. So my mom decided she and my dad were going to join this Italian folk group. And she brought us kids along. We were real little, and they have rehearsals so late. I go, Mom, how are we going to get up for school tomorrow? She goes, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So after a few years, Lorenzo and Eugene didn't want to do it any longer. So apparently Lorenzo asked my mom if she would be willing to take it over.
I see.
Well, my mom came over and asked my dad, and he said, Leonardo, they want me to take over this Italian folk group. What do you think? He goes, do what do you want? And that was it. So she started, and she did the same thing the way she did everything, like full force. Like, yeah. She went to town, and before you knew it, we were traveling. And there was no social media in those days. I don't know how she got the word out, but we went to Denver and Boston and opened up the Epcot Center at the Disney World. And then the Piece de Resistance, where she arranged a tour for us to tour Italy from north to south. It was amazing.
I have this picture, and this is you and your mother right there on stage together.
Me and Mom. Yeah, Mom and me. Yeah.
That's great. And then I have this picture here with you with Lorenzo Malfatti.
Lorenzo.
I met him a couple of times, and he heard our group as well. But he was a very, very interesting guy, very knowledgeable.
He was a big deal, Vito. I didn't realize as much, but like you had said, he worked with Luciano Pavarotti. One of his students played the lead, the Phantom of the Opera, on the touring company. And he also played Michael Corleone's opera singing son in the movie Godfather 3.
Okay.
He was wonderful.
Yeah.
I was so blessed to study with him for a while because I said, I can't afford you. He goes, just come, we'll work. And I learned more from him than anybody. Because I already knew how to play, I was a pianist, but I didn't have really excellent vocal training. So learn more. I owe him a lot. He taught me a lot.
And then I have this picture. Tell us about this.
There we are. Okay, this was our tour of Italy in 1987. We traveled from north to south, and our final destination was the eternal city of Rome. And there we were at the big Campagnoli or whatever they call it, and they presented us with the Medal of Peace. Well, actually, they gave it to my mom, but it was for all of us. The Medal of Peace in Rome.
Wonderful. Yeah. And you had mentioned that even in Italy, they didn't have a folk group of this
magnitude. No, they did not. They did not. And see, we performed in a lot of the big cities like Florence and this, but my very favorite was Lorenzo, because he had an opera studio over there. School. It was opera singers came from all over the world to study there. So he would go to Lucca during the summertime and teach. Well, he had arranged for us to sing for an old folks place, if you will. It was like a senior citizens place. The people were in wheelchairs and this and that and everything else. And it started to rain because we were going to do the show outside. So they brought us all inside and they wheeled all the patients in.
Oh, wow.
And that was the most memorable of the whole trip. These people hadn't heard these songs since they were little children, and they started to cry. And if they could stand, they'd stand. That was, to me, the piece de resistance. I love that.
Yeah, wonderful. So I have a little video I'd like to show. This is really two audio songs. One of my favorites, which is O Soldato Innamorato.
Yeah.
That song. And Lana's grandfather actually taught me that song. I would just stand over the accordion, he'd sing it, and then I'd play, and it's a great song. But anyhow, let me play this video. It's for the audio of two songs, Ardi and O Soldato
Innamorato.
Yeah. Let's play this here. Hey, bravo, bravo.
Bravi.
And for those that don't know, the title means the enamored soldier. And this song is from World War One. This was a World War One and it was really the story about these, the soldiers went away to war and their girlfriends back home would write these letters to them, and things.
Right.
That was really, an interesting time too. Lana's grandfather was actually he was captured in World War One. He was what they call prisoner of war.
Wow.
In World War One, yeah. He was an amazing guy, But anyhow, that's wonderful. I love that song, and
what's your favorite, Vito? I can tell.
Yeah, we did that with We Three too, several times. Nice. And so I have another picture I'd like to show, and this is you with Joe Negri.
Hey, Joe.
And you mentioned this earlier, and I'm sure everybody heard, but he was the first guitar player with E. Campagnoli.
Yes, he was. He was the very first guitarist. As a matter of fact, he played on the very first album that E. Campagnoli had made.
Oh,
It was a white album, and what a great guy! What a great guy! And then I hadn't seen him in a long time, and then I took this grad course at Duquesne, teaching guitar workshops, and not because I don't know. I never wanted to play the guitar. Really, to me, it was too painful. Just like the accordion. It was too painful on my fingers, but I decided to sign up for this class and take level 1. And then I liked it so much, I took level 2, but but Joe was one of the featured guests, and he goes, "Mary Ferro, how are you?" And I said, "I'm great, Joe." And so we talked for a while, and then I tried to sit in the back while he was playing, because everybody knew who my brother was, and I didn't want them to think that he tried to teach me how to play guitar. No. So he goes, "There's my friend in the back, Mary Ferro. How are you?" I'm like, "Oh no."
Well, I have to tell you a little story too, because Joe, well, first of all, I believe Joe is 99 years old right now.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. And God bless him. And, I was head of the music department at West Mifflin, and I had the opportunity to go to Duquesne one summer. They were offering, again, it was a guitar class. Mm-hmm. And if you wanted to add guitar as an instrument, like to teach in general music, maybe at the middle school level. So I thought, I should take it. At that time, we had to get so many credits each year.
Right.
And things.
Right.
So I said, I'm going to take that guitar class. So I did, you know. Well, Joe knew me because, first of all, he knew my band and he knew me. And, you know, he used to come out to Churchill when we would play the Italian events out there. And, you know, he and his wife would be dancing to our band, we three, you know, I mean. And so we had a nice connection. Well, now I'm taking this guitar class. And here, the very last class, he comes in as a guest and to play a little bit and things, you know. And he sees me sitting there and he goes, "This is for Vito." He said, "I'm going to play this for you, Vito." And he plays those Sole Mio on the guitar. Oh, it was so cool. I'll never forget that. Yeah, he was. You're right. He's just such a gentleman.
He always was.
You know.
And prior to this meeting, when Lorenzo passed away, they invited, a lot of people that had something to do with his life story there. As a matter of fact, Frank D'Ambrosio, the one who played the Phantom, he flew in from New York. They wanted what was left of Campagnoli, because Mom had already passed away, to do something. And of course, Joe was there, and he's such a great guy. He really is. He never lost his Italian roots either.
You know. You're right about that. I know.
He never did.
I have another picture with E. Campagnoli played for Pavarotti's
Yes, we
birthday
did.
in 1989. Tell us about this.
Well, Pavarotti was doing a performances in Pittsburgh. I believe it was the Civic Arena at that time, which is no longer there. But somehow, some way, someone got contact of my mom, and they wanted us to sing for his birthday party at the Hyatt.
Okay.
And so we did. So there we were up there singing, and he was at the head table, and we did sing Soldato Innamorato as one of the selections, and he joined us.
That's what I was going to say. Did he join in?
Yes, he did.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
If you know that song, you can't not sing it if it's being performed. I know.
It was like really surreal, Vito, because I'm standing singing, and I'm like, "Is that Luciano Pavarotti singing with us?" Because I knew our group was made up of normal, everyday people.
Yeah, right.
So like somebody else is joining us.
Yeah, he was. To me, it was my favorite tenor ever. But such a unique voice, you know. Such a unique voice. There were a few that I really liked. Franco Corelli and Giuseppe Di Stefano. I mean, there were some.
I agree. My father was quite the opera connoisseur.
Oh, yeah.
He would tell me that when Caruso was alive, he would go to the bars and sing for the people.
Yeah.
And now I think opera's like a big business, if you will, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe not. But he used to like Beniamino Gigli.
Yeah.
My dad loved him. So
tell me about this photo here. This is the last photo I have. This is I showed this early on, and you're in the Piazza di Michelangelo. And this is way up on the hill.
Yeah.
It looks the city of Florence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember being there? Yeah.
Yeah, my mom thought it would be a good idea to take that photo up there, which I think she was totally correct, because that's a beautiful photo. Yeah. And I'm second on kneeling from the left.
Yep. I see almost in front of your mother there.
Yeah. It was a lot easier wearing those Italian costumes in my 20s and 30s in the heat. I don't think I could do it now. I know I couldn't.
I'm sure you could.
Yeah. You think?
Yeah.
That was a beautiful
guy on the far right on the standing. What was his name?
The Franco Cogliaro.
Okay.
Frank Cogliaro, and he ended up being a cameraman for WQED.
Oh, right.
And we had filmed a special with Mr. Rogers because his barber was a part of our Italian Folk Troupe, Campagnoli. His barber's name was Nick Failla. He's passed away as well. Okay. So Mr. Rogers came to do a documentary with Campagnoli, and I was directing the little kids at that time. And I said, come on, kids, Mr. Rogers is coming. You got to sing. You really have to sing out. So Mr. Rogers walks through the door. They're going to start filming this documentary. And all of a sudden they went, I said, come on, guys, you have to sing something. Finally, they ended up singing like canaries, but it was that deer in the headlights look. And I was like, forget it. So the documentary was called Old Friends, New Friends.
I see. I have another a video. It's an audio of the song Ni No Ne. Is that right?
Yes.
Tell us about that. I'm going to play it, but before I play it, tell us about this song and about the recording itself.
Yeah, I had gone to Italy because I still have first cousins there.
Okay.
And my dad's sister never came here. So I went to Italy, and I obviously had to go to my dad's hometown, which was called Sant'Ilario nel Ionio. It's like right outside of Reggio Calabria. And right there is the Ionian Sea, the majestic Ionian Sea. So, of course, I did as everyone does. I went to the beach, and there I found these two guys there playing guitar, just sitting on the sand playing guitar. And they were playing a song called Ni No Ne, and I'd never heard it before. I said, guys, do you mind if I like get a cassette player at that time and record it? Because I love this song. And it was very, there was not much to it. They only had two guitars, and they played it for me. I recorded it. I guarded that cassette with my life, coming home through customs. I said, if I ever make an album, I'm going to want to have this arranged and put on the album. So I eventually did make an album called Da Maria con Amore, and that was arranged for me. And it was on my album, and here it was, Ni No Ne, that came from the Ionian Sea. It wasn't in the Ionian Sea, but right next on the sand. I'm very proud of this one because it was just, it should have never been.
Yeah, let's play it. There we go. Beautiful. Nice.
And that's Vince playing guitar on that. And I duplicated my voice on that. And it went from something very primitive. Well, it didn't get that elaborate, but yeah, to add a little slice of life to it.
So I have one more video that I'd like to show. And this is really excerpts of a Christmas concert by the E Campagnoli called Christmas in Italy. But it was filmed in the United States, right?
In Madonna del Castello Church in Swissvale, which is no longer there, I don't think.
Okay. All right. So let me show this. This is the final video, and then if you have any comments or stories you want to tell after this, this is let's show this here.
soul this evening and remember our traditions of our forefathers. Franco, let the memory begin. Buon Natale, faremo sto condoglione.
Cantati con la gente, finché non sta vestita, Campagnoli è nato il Redentore, il Redentore, il Redentore, Campagnoli è nato il Redentore. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. E come mi bastoni.
We love our children and we brought them here this evening. And my daughter, Mary Ferro, is the director of the weekly Campagnoli. Mary, you want to take over?
What a concert. That was a nice concert.
Oh, my mom's main objective, she always wanted to have an Italian Christmas.
Yeah.
So I think she pulled out every Italian Christmas song from here to eternity.
Yeah.
We sang them all.
There really weren't that many official Italian Christmas songs. Really.
No.
You know.
She got some mad.
Jesu Bambino and then Tu scende dalla stella. I mean, really. And after that, they started just doing other Christmas songs in Italian. Right.
Right. And I don't know how she got on most of the ones she got, but she had her heart set on she was going to perform an Italian Christmas, and that was the end of it.
That was great. Well, it was great, and you know, it's a shame your mother passed so young, and you said that she died from cancer, and there was a story you were telling me about the music that she listened to or something.
Yeah. I was telling you that my mom, like, she never told us twins that there was something wrong with her. She had to have kept it hidden for a long time after my dad passed away.
I see.
And then we noticed she was declining. Anyway, eventually, of course, she had to be in the hospital, and she said, "You know what I'd like, Mary?" And I said, "What?" She said, "I'd like to have Vito DeSalva's cassette in here so I could listen to it." And she in particular liked the Wedding Waltz and Solo per te. She didn't care how high she cranked it up in the hospital. She just listened to it over and over again. And she so enjoyed your music, Vito. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. It was very, very, very welcomed, and she loved it. She said, "You know what I'd like?" So, okay, you get it.
Heartwarming to hear that, you know?
Yeah, she really enjoyed it very much.
Well, Mary, you've had a great run, a great career, and I appreciate you sharing your journey with us. There's a lot involved there, and I appreciate it. It's so nice to have you on the show.
Oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you for all that you do with this, Vito, because there's so many musicians that are out there that need to be elevated. And thank you for all that you do.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. It's been
really
a pleasure.
It's my pleasure for sure. And you have a great evening, Mary.
You too, Vito.
And
Say hi to Lana for me. Don't miss me too much.
No, by the way, happy Thanksgiving too.
Happy Thanksgiving. Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
You have a great evening.
Thank you, Vito. Thank you so much. You take care. Ciao.
Ciao. And there you have another episode of Memories of a Musician with Mary Ferro. Of course, love the Italian music and all the group and everything about it. It's wonderful. And I didn't say this, and Mary and I didn't talk about this, but the E Campagnoli as an organization is now over. And, you get further away from the first generation Italians and second generation. The further you get away, then it just becomes kind of less important, I think, for those younger folks. And it's hard to keep those kind of things going, So it is what it is. But it was wonderful seeing Mary and having her on the show. She's a very talented young lady. So looking ahead to next Wednesday, December 3rd, be sure to tune in to meet my special guest, Kevin Clark. Kevin Clark is a composer, arranger, keyboardist, and brass player. He's also a translator for 2 French ophthalmology journals and the National Eye Hospital in Paris, and he is a retired ophthalmologist. So he's a doctor and also a musician. Kevin has shared the stage with the likes of Chubby Checker, Sammy Davis Jr., Connie Francis, the Letterman, the Platters, Fred Rogers, David Lee Roth, the Skyliners, Grover Washington Jr., and Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, just to name a few. Kevin is also a prolific composer and arranger, having written thousands of compositions and arrangements, including TV spots, radio jingles, and PBS special, several musicals and pieces performed by Grover Washington Jr., Herbie Mann, the Skyliners, Latshaw Productions, the Edgewood Symphony, the McKeesport Symphony, the West Hill Symphonic Band, and the Wheeling Symphony Orchestra, just to name a few. His arrangements encompass all genres of music and ensembles of all types, from monkey organ to full symphony. The podcast will be streamed live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Kevin Clark on Memories of a Musician at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, December 3rd. Thank you and have a great evening.